be a sponge, and then bring the juice.
By focusing on your improvement, by focusing on your progress, and eliminating any fixed mindset that you may have and acts of perfectionism, then you encourage your own mastery.
On some level, we do what we want to do 24 hours a day. Now, sometimes it may not seem like that, but if I'm choosing to work instead of sleep, what I'm actually saying is keeping my job is more important than sleeping.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting beat. What can I do to get over this hump? So mentally, that's when I kind of put that forefront, like, hey, it's either all or nothing.
I like to put failure in quotations because I don't believe that failure is true failure if you're looking at it with the right mindset.
The truth is, the journey to greatness is hard. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes focus, and every day you have to decide what you value, what you want to pursue, and what you want to achieve. And if you dig deep enough, if you push hard enough, we all have what it takes to be great. Welcome to the Edge of Greatness. Hello and welcome back to From the Edge, August 17th. Man, I'll tell you what, it has been a pretty hectic and busy week since the last time I talked to you guys. I've been working really hard trying to get speaker videos together, speaker pages put together, increasing my reach and performance on YouTube. So I put together an ad to try to get some business from that. And then I've been cutting some old clips from my past interviews to try to get some different content out there. And it's been a lot. You know, I've been kind of running around a little wild. I feel like sometimes for myself, I have a hard time consistently staying focused on one thing. You know, something for me that's really difficult is when I start working on a project, when I start doing something, I start getting really creative thoughts about other things. And it becomes interesting because I quickly don't lose interest in the first thing, but I shift back and forth a lot. So I end up trying different things while I'm building something else. So it makes things sometimes pretty challenging for me. So what I've done is I actually recently just bought a dry erase marker. It's off screen here, but I got a dry erase calendar and then like a list of things that I can draw out and then check mark off. And it's been pretty helpful so far because I do very well when I have a target, when I have tasks, when I know there's certain things that I have to do, I do very well at getting them done. When I'm free to make my own decisions and I have a lot of things that I want to do, I become paralyzed by the fact that there's so much that I want to accomplish and there's no specific task at hand. I'm not sure how many of you relate to that or not, but it's a very challenging thing for myself. I'm sure there's others out there that when their mind starts going, they have a hard time really focusing it on the specific task that needs to be done. You know, I had a conversation with a friend of mine before and I said, you know, I'm kind of like a ballistic missile. You know, I can do a lot of damage, but if I don't have a target, I don't know what I'm going to actually hit. And that's kind of the hard thing for me. So, but if you give me something to shoot at, I'm really good at what I do. And I'm hoping that this will help me. This will dial me in. So I listed out the tasks I needed to get done for the summit, as far as sending out emails to introduce the speakers, to getting the pages done on the website, to getting the videos uploaded onto, it's going to be on a private YouTube channel, so that way it can kind of only be viewed through the website. And, you know, I have these conversations listed on there, the interviews that I'm having for the main podcast. I'm hoping that maybe after this event's over, it won't feel so chaotic. But, you know, it's been, I think August is going to be a little nuts. And I've kind of accepted that at this point. And I think that's another important thing when you're working on a project, to understand that you can schedule in breaks once you achieve what you're trying to get done. So for myself, I spent this whole month really dialed in. So starting on August 1st, when I, sent out the newsletter on the 1st, everything since then has been very summit focused. A lot of summit work, a lot of stuff, trying to get this thing ready, trying to make it look professional, trying to get the best quality information and videos and everything I can out to you guys. But I can do this because I know that at the end of the month, after September 4th, I don't have anything scheduled, so I can take a breath. And I think that makes it a little easier for me to dial in hard now and really get after it, because it's only for a month and then I get a break. And I've done that before with other things. So with my writing, I'm like, all right, this month I'm going to, boom, dial it in for this. This is my target, and go hard at it. I think what we run the risk of is if we choose to do that type of performance without any end in sight, without any opportunity to have a moment to, all right, this week I'm just going to do my usual stuff, the stuff I'm comfortable with. I'm not going to do any more. And for me, that's the big piece that's helped me a lot, is knowing I have a break, or I can go hard for these next 10 days because after that, I don't have to do anything as challenging. So there are a couple different things I'm hoping that I kind of helped you with a little bit today, is that, if you are like me, where you start working on a specific task and then you get creative thoughts about other tasks, I battle with that too. I have this tendency to really jump and try to do 8 different projects at the same time. The listing stuff, I used to do it on the computer here, and I would add a notes page so when an idea came, I'd write it down, but then I'd push it to the side. Now I can write it on this board, so it'll be front and center and in front of me on the wall, but then I don't have to chase it. I can say, okay, this is something I want to explore once I finish this task. This is something I want to do once I finish that task. That way the creativity can continue to flow, but it's not going to become as much of a distraction. The other thing that I'm hoping you understand with this is that doing hard work is part of anything that you want to do well. But if you're going to go for big things, make sure you understand that there are going to be parts and times where you can take a break. There's going to be moments where you can step back. And for myself, that's the big thing here for me, is I have to get this done. It's got to be done by the 2nd. I've got a deadline, which is, I think, also helpful. Setting deadlines for yourself. Now, this one is set because it's the day of the event, but we're all going to have deadlines if we are choosing to get things done. Set deadlines, even if it's just one for you and not for a project being turned in or anything else. Set deadlines, and then when you're all done, give yourself a break. Give yourself the grace to step away and say, look, I'm going to take a moment, and then I'm going to ramp it back up. Now, but when I say take a break, don't stop doing all the things you were doing, but give yourself a break from the extended effort stuff. And I think that will set you up for the ability to do this again and to repeat it and to continue to do the hard work. So, that's pretty much all I have today. I was kind of hoping to keep it short, and I think I did that. Like I said, my effort and energy right now is solely on the summit, building that up, making sure that I get everything I can ready and prepared and out there for you guys. If you haven't signed up for the summit yet, head over to theedgeofgreatnessproject.com/EOG Summit and sign up. I think it's going to be a pretty awesome event. I've got some incredible speakers, and I've got some awesome videos already coming in. And after September, maybe this will get a little bit easier for me. So, but I'll keep you updated. I'll be back on here next week. Again, it'll probably be a lot about the summit, but, it's the big thing that I'm working on right now. So, as always, guys, keep reaching for the stars. Fall flat on your face. Remember, whenever we fall, always get up. Thank you for joining us today on the Edge of Greatness podcast. If you haven't yet, please take a minute now to subscribe and review our show. Join us again next week as we continue to dig deeper into the key components of greatness. The path to greatness is never linear, so remember to keep pursuing greatness no matter what. Keep stretching your abilities, reach for the stars, and fall flat on your face. But remember, no matter what happens, whenever we fall, always get up. Until next time, I'm Charles Schultz, and this was the Edge of Greatness podcast.